Oh my goodness, people. Oh, if anyone was here on week 1, remember how tidy this all was? And this is where I get to at the end of a season 1. The fallout is something Asmongold will truly be proud of. So what can we do about this? Well, that's better. The magic of video. Right, I best get comfy. Ladies and gentlemen, circles, squares, kings, queens, and anyone in between, welcome to the Dark Library. It's been a while. I've got to get out of talking in my YouTube voice and just be myself, I think. So I'm JT, John Taylor. I'm half of Dark Library. I'm the voice you hear in the stories. Dale Drake isn't here at the moment, but we are going to do an interview. I'm going to be interviewing Dale for the channel and walk through a lot of his works with him. This is just an opportunity today to go through season 1. We've decided to do our story blocks in seasons. So we've just finished season 1 and now we've taken a week off to prep for season 2. And I thought I'd just speak to you all and just give you a little bit of a glimpse behind the scenes, some of our thought processes for what we did and what we've learned from that. So we kicked off about 5-6 weeks ago with Dale's City of Midnight, the vampire detective noir story, and I think that went really well. I did a lot of visuals on that. Now I'll let you into a secret. All the visuals that you see are all done on a 12A Samsung phone using UCut. I have no background in visuals. Everything has been self-taught on the fly. The reason a lot of the images you see at the moment are in such low resolution is because my phone doesn't have enough memory to compress larger files. Because we are unmonetized at the moment, and season 1 was really a test case for us to see if we can get this off the ground and see what we can do without having any expenditure at all. So I think we've achieved there's new heights we can get to, but if you just bear with us while we just learn and get the right equipment and come together. But the bottom line is everything you've heard and seen so far is on a £110, $130 phone from Samsung. Dale's phone has a bit more memory than mine. The few that Dale's done, which I'll point out as we go along, he could do better compression because he bought added memory. I can't put memory in mine, so that's why some of the ones are a little bit more resolution than the others. So we kicked off with City of Midnight. Great story. We're going to run through the entire thing here on the channel. I really enjoyed doing that. The voice did not come to me easily. I did the whole thing audio, 3 completely separate takes. I did it in a fairly regular English voice, my own. I did it in a harsher voice, but it still wasn't coming across. Although Dale was kind of happy with that. And then I went away because I really wasn't. And I spent a lot of time just messing around with doing silly voices. And I came up with a voice that was like a hybrid of, though my words, it's like Clint Eastwood meets Vin Diesel in a dark alley, not for nefarious purposes. And I just did that. And it was almost a piss take if I hadn't committed to it, but I completely leaned into it. And that is the voice of John Carver now. And I just love doing that. I've really got into the character. And John Carver stays in my head after I've done it for a few days. I love how slow he speaks. And I just think that voice suits the character so much. The voice is the man. And the man is the voice now. I love City of Midnight. It's one of my favourites to do. Although my kind of prep for that is to have like half a bottle of rum, smoke a couple of cigarettes, stay up late, and then I'm John Carver. So yeah, that was great. It's a long story too. They're all fairly chunkable sessions, but they're a lot of fun to do. After City of Midnight, I did my own story, Dark Harbour, or rather that's the one that came out second. Dark Harbour was actually the first story that we did ever, and we did that together. We sat down and we went through every visual. I did the vocal myself, but me and Dale sat side by side and went through all the cuts and edits got the material. Dark Harbour actually has a real lot of live footage in it that's all shot local round the harbour and where it's based. So I went out after work one night and spent about an hour walking around and getting late night dark images. If you can hear the rain at the moment, it's because it's raining. Because it's Cornwall. And it always rains. When it's not sunny. So yeah, Dark Harbour, where was I? I loved writing that. I was very proud of the piece, although it does take you some quite dark places. And though I loved what I ended up with, I loved some of the more poetic prose that I did in that. It did take me to quite a dark place when I was writing that. It's a karmic tale, and it really gives you some chance for self-reflection. I think writing that kind of story. If you've not heard it, check out Dark Harbour. Shameless plug for me. There we go. After that, we went for Tales from a Gas Station, which is a bit controversial because it's so iconic. What an iconic story Tales from a Gas Station is. Incredibly iconic tale. What more can you say? It's up there, isn't it? It's up there, and it's a beloved favourite. And people are so used to the voice, especially with Mr. Creepypasta. It's a piece of work that's synonymous with that voice of MCP. And I'm not trying to emulate MCP. I'm not ever saying I match up to MCP. But I did my own take. I did my best of it. I gave it a very light southern twist, I thought, just at the ends. The feedback that we got was it's too monotone. This is an American, kind of like American, heartfelt, precious bit of creepypasta. It needs to be more of that. So when I did the sequel, I really leaned into the southern. And I did that with, I had some voice coaching with 2 Americans in the village who are also actors, as well as other things, and I sat down with them for 2 evenings and we played around. And bottom line, I only get about 2 to 3 days at the most when we're doing a week. We tend to do 3 recordings a week, and we're also doing the visuals. So to do the turnaround on that, it's a hell of a lot. So for me to take 2 days out just trying to get an accent is just insane when we're trying to crank out 3 fully produced pieces a week. But we did it and we got there, and that was all good. After Tales, we did The Map of Lost Souls by John Finn. I enjoyed doing that. It's a lovely short piece, and it gave me, after the Tales from a Gas Station, I went back in my wheelhouse. Map of Lost Souls, it's that Victorian Baroque style writing. And I could really open up the pipes and get into my best kind of like mock Victoriana kind of patterns of speech and enunciation. Quite a bit of compression to do on afterwards, because the P filter was working overtime. That's when you do the, because you really enunciate, and so one almost over enunciates the vowels when doing that very British Victorian style. But it was fun, and Dale did all the visuals for Map of Lost Souls, and a lot of positive feedback. People loved the format, the amount of images that Dale matched to every beat of the story was incredible. I don't think I'd have had the patience to do it myself, but he persevered, he cracked on. It was the first one he did, and I think it's bloody brilliant. It's a great little piece of work. Really like that one. After that, we did Jeff the Killer. Again, big names. Big shout out to Caleb Banning for letting us use, passing us the keys to his beautiful baby and letting us drive it around a bit. And then my phone had a bit of a wobble and lost me talking about Jeff. And I think possibly we've lost A Mother's Love as well by Joel Hunt, which was a great tale. But I think we pick it back up again, talk about me bribing my child to film me doing Van Draven. Short break there. Ran out of memory on the phone. We are such an amateur channel. It's frightening. But we will get there. Where was I? Van Draven, having to bribe the child with chocolate just to film me before she went to bed to get those shots in. And then, of course, we did a lot of local stuff all around the harbour, around the coastland, all around the village where me and Dale reside, all where Van Draven is based. And it was great. It was just great having something like a small movie with a lot of real footage, no stock imagery, a lot of photos that we did ourselves. I did one shot. I went over to Charlestown, which is a little village about 4 or 5 miles away. I did an establishment shot there that I did a lot of post-production work on, and there's a tiny bit of AI in that, but it's one of those. When is AI AI and when is art your art? Because I went and took the photo. We used some stock images of a haunted house, then we'd use some AI to adapt the image of the house, and then I meshed that in with Photoshop into the photo that I've taken, and then substituted a different sky and sea to make it look more moody. It's like that was one photo, and it's on screen for about, I don't know, 7 seconds, and I probably spent about 3 to 4 hours making that 7-second picture just for a background for an audio story channel. Because although we're not monetized, we have no big equipment or background, but we do have a fucking load of passion for this. So I just hope you guys appreciate it sometimes. That's all. We love doing this. We fucking love it. We really do. You know, if I only had one person to read my works or to watch my video, I would still be writing, I would still be narrating, I'd still be doing it. As long as one person can watch, I don't care. I don't think Dale's the same. It's like we just have, as a writer, as a creator, you just have a passion for making stuff, and it just overrides everything else. You just want to make work and get it out there, even to one. That's enough. If you are one, subscribe. So yeah, Van Draven, it was a joy to do. It's a great piece of work. We really stand by, and I think that's more the direction we want to go in with. I think that's a great benchmark for what we can do. And if you can imagine that shot on slightly better equipment, with higher resolution, 6 months from now, I'm hoping that's where we're going to be at as our base more. It was great. After that was Tales from a Gas Station, as I said, with my extreme southern accent, which was fun. And then after that, we got to a story by Joel Hunt. It was A Mother's Love. And Dale put that one together. That was an interesting one, because with that one, there's no AI in that whatsoever. Everything is hand shot, put together by Dale, as I say. Did a really good job considering the limitations. And it was even photos that we used ourselves, stock images, and there's even a named book. I think it's, as memory serves, it's Shadows Beyond the Veil, and there's a book in that, and that was a picture with the book in was a picture I commissioned from a local artist, calling in a favour, and yeah, that's on there. That was a challenge, but it's a great piece of work. It's a brilliant written story, and I think the visuals add to it. You know, they only enhance that. After that, we had J.L. Goodwin with his Supernatural Adrift at Sea. I think it was multi-titled. This we put it out under Transatlantic. I think it was originally out on other pasta channels as My Crew. I'm Stuck Aboard an Abandoned Ship. It was that story. But we're trying to get away from that, from everything having that kind of clickbait title. We want to give things genuine titles. But it's a brilliant story, and it didn't do a lot for us, so we changed the title to Adrift of Shadows, or The Drift of Shadows, just to give it a bit of a tickle, because the algorithm likes that apparently, and it's tickled up, but it could still do a little bit better. If you've not watched The Drift of Shadows or listened to it, give it a whirl. It's a good tale. And then we had episode 2 of City. Another great one to do. I was getting my head really around the mixing and fading of multi-layering images with that, and I was settled in with the voice. It didn't hurt quite so much afterwards, and I enjoyed doing that. As I say, I love Jake Carver. It's a great voice. You know, who doesn't like City? It's bloody brilliant, isn't it? It's a great story. Yeah, there was some really good bits in that. I really like the imagery, especially one, and I spoke with Dale. Dale loves this one when Carver's just sat in his apartment and he's just sat staring out, looking at the city. That shot, that's just a great shot. That kind of twilight, kind of like setting sun, bit of darkness. You can just see the silhouette of the character of Carver. And I think when the audio comes in with that, then I drop the voice. It's great. You're there. Yeah, we both love City. After that, we had the other one, the why my barber cuts my hair for free. That was what a creepy little tale that is. That's some proper creepypasta. That's a proper creepypasta one there. So that's full on. It's short. It's an espresso. It's an espresso of a story. It's short, does exactly what you want to, and it just leaves you with that ooh at the end of it. That's creepy. It's creepy stuff. And after that one, we had Butterfly of Prometheus, the body horror one about the bodybuilder. It's like a modern day Frankenstein with a bodybuilding twist on it. Butterfly of Prometheus. Very intellectual title. Very well written story. I did the visuals on that. I really enjoyed doing that one. We put a little bit of live footage in where we could of there. The person doing the bench is me. Just down at the gym where I work. So I just did some footage there. You can't see my face, so obviously it's not a self-promotional video. But the black and whites at the beginning, that's a young me 40 years ago. Be kind. And after that, we were back to Chapel Point by Dale Drake again. Another great one by Dale. And that is the first time, Chapel Point is the first time it's had an outing on any channel. So that's an exclusive. Another great bit of creepypasta. That's a short, creepy tale. Dale did visuals. I did the voice. And again, what a great tale. Chapel Point. Then we did Jeff the Killer, part 2. I was getting into the flow there a bit more, I think, with Jeff. The story just starts to pick up and get a bit more menacing there. It type of breaks out of that Stand By Me Stephen King kind of zone and goes into a little bit more. You just get an inkling of what's going to come. Was that about half an hour long, and that's just before the dam breaks and things happen with the Jeff story. After that one, we did a couple of weeks ago, we did the Underground by J.L. Goodwin, 2-parter. That was nice because what we really endeavoured to do there, and this is what we're endeavouring to do, we really want to make good on our promises here at Dark Library. If we say we're doing a series, we're going to do the series. We're not going to leave you waiting and hanging on and is it going to finish? Where's the next bit? We talk the talk, but we're going to walk the walk. And Underground was a great example of that. I think we had part 1 out, and then 3 days later, part 2, bang, there you go, complete story, and it's at large, all done. Great visuals, done by Dale. Bloody brilliant, mate. Really, I actually think that's his best one so far. Great visuals on that. And then we wrapped up with the final part of part 1 of Jeff the Killer, with the turn of Jeff. And I've got to say, a shorter one, but I loved that because it's a breakthrough. It's when, spoilers, but it has been out about 10 years now, so but if you've not seen Jeff, just jump forward about 15 seconds. It's the bit where Jeff recovers in hospital and he's disfigured and horrible, and he goes about the bloodbath of his parents. And I did the voice, and I just love doing that voice for Jeff. I was just trying to get something. I didn't want it to seem like a cheesy, crappy copy of the Joker, but I just thought it should just have a whisper of that in. But I intentionally wanted to get his disfigurement, because Caleb really describes the way that he's disfigured. So when I did the voice, I made it dry. I tried to do the voice I've been doing for Jeff before, but I imagined how it would sound with exposed teeth and nerve damage and half his face scarred, especially freshly scarred. So to emulate that, so when I do the voice, I actually push into my cheek when I'm doing it, and I bring my breath from mid-chest and rasp it a little bit and keep a little bit of that saliva in the mouth. I think that might be where the Heath Ledger Joker is just coming through. And yeah, we wrapped. That was season 1. So what do we have? That's a total of 17 stories we did, me and Dale. And we have full-time jobs, as we say. We're not monetarized. We just do this for fun. And for you guys. We love you guys. Coming in. I'll pour you a drink. It's great here. So, season 2. What's on the cards? Well, who knows? We're going to continue with everything that we've been running so far. We're going to continue with. We're not dropping anything. We're going to keep on going. If there's anything you'd like to hear, drop us a bell. Now, you might have seen little tease of it Dale's been dropping on for Broken Messiah. So that is coming next season. So we're going to have another week off, I think. Get our heads together. Get 3 in the bag. So we always like to have 3 episodes in before we actually start releasing. Then we've got a little bit of a buffer so we can just keep dropping things regularly. So we're aiming to get at least 2 a week out. I think a lot of the times here with the last season 1, we got 3 out a week. So we aspire for 3, but we try and guarantee 2. If we only drop 1, it's been family emergency, so bear with us. Yeah, Broken Messiah coming out. We'll have more Jeff. We've got more authors in the pipeline, and we've got, you know, quite a bit of body of work that's been submitted to us by some of your favourites and your greatest and names that you know. It's all coming, and yeah, what can I say? If you've stuck with me this far, I salute you. You're a gentleman or a fine woman, and you are my very best. Thank you. Drop us a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got this far, you must be subscribed, surely, or you're just struggling to get to sleep. Who knows? But we love you guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for listening. Look out for the interview with Dale that's going to be coming up real soon, and we can get an insight into how that man's mind works. It's a bit scary, but I'm not afraid to go there. Until the next time, take care, and I'll catch you all on the next one.